Welcome back to Left Brained Artist. Today we're settling one of the most common questions I get from beginners. Should you use white glue or clear glue as your pouring medium? Now, you might think clear glue sounds like the obvious winner. It's clear, so it won't muddy your colors, right? Well, I'm going to show you something today that might completely change how you think about that. And I'm not just going to talk about it. I ran a controlled test. Same paints, same technique, same consistency. The only variable is the medium. White glue on one side, clear glue on the other. I'll also be doing a bonus swipe test at the end that really drives the point home, so stick around for that. Alright, first things first, the setup. This is a Left Brained Artist video, so we're doing this scientifically. I started by measuring out 150 grams of each glue. Right away I noticed something. The clear glue was noticeably thinner than the white glue, straight out of the bottle. To get both mediums to roughly the same working consistency, I had to add about 17 grams of additional water, which was about 10% of the total to the white glue. So keep that in mind. If you're using white glue, you'll generally need a little more water than you think to loosen it up. For the paint colors, I built a palette using coolers.co, a free tool I really like for pulling cohesive color combinations. I mixed variations of metallic green, blue, red, and orange. I had black in the palette originally, but decided to leave it out to keep things more vibrant and let the colors really pop. I made 2 cups of each color. 1 cup gets white glue medium, the other gets clear glue medium. I used 25 grams of paint and 50 grams of medium, which is my standard 1:2 ratio. This means I ended up with 8 cups total, 4 colors, 2 mediums. Exact same paint, exact same amount, true apples to apples. Most of what I know about color mixing and matching I picked up from Chris Breyer. I'll drop a link to his course in the description if you want to go deeper on that. Here's where things got interesting on the clear glue side right away. After mixing paint into the medium, the clear glue had noticeably more bubbles than the white glue. If you ever had a bubble problem in your pores, this is worth paying attention to. The viscosity of clear glue seems to trap air more easily during mixing. The other thing I noticed, and this one surprised me, was that the metallic green paint had a strange reaction with the clear glue. When I first mixed them together, it went gritty, almost grainy. It didn't smooth out until I added water and mixed it for quite a while. The other colors didn't react this way, and I had 0 issues with the white glue side. I'm not 100% sure what causes that. It could be something in the metallic pigment interacting with the binder in clear glue, but it's something to watch out for if you're working with metallics. One thing that was genuinely cool about mixing with clear glue, you can actually watch the paint blend into the medium in real time since the glue is transparent. It's satisfying to look at, even if the results later are a different story. Before pouring, I did a drip test on all 8 cups to dial in consistency. A few needed adjustment. Both the clear blue and the clear glue orange needed water added, and the clear glue green needed quite a bit, which lines up with that mixing issue I mentioned. The white glue orange also needed a small adjustment. Everything else was good to go. Now for the main event. I used the dirty pour flip cup technique on both sets of paints. Both sides layered up similarly in the cup. But when I added the last color, the metallic green, the clear glue side sank fast and came with a lot of bubbles. Really interesting to watch, and unexpected. After the flip, here's what happened. The clear glue side started selling immediately and just kept going. And going. It overcelled, to the point where the cells collapsed into each other and you couldn't really distinguish individual cells anymore. What you're left with is kind of a muddy, mushed together surface where all the colors have blended. There was also some paint globs on the clear blue side that I think came from the dried white paint that fell off the bottle as I squeezed it out. Not really a fair knock against clear glue specifically, just something that can happen in any pour if you're not careful to clean off your containers before squirting out the paint. The white glue side behaved very differently. The cells formed most slowly and held their shape. The colors stayed more distinct and vibrant. When I looked at both finished pieces, the white glue painting just looked cleaner, more intentional, and a lot more vivid. The clear glue side did have cells, but they were subtle, almost buried in the painting. You have to look for them. This is why I generally don't recommend clear glue, at least for those of us in the United States. Now I want to be fair here. I've seen fantastic results from artists like Pouring Your Heart Out and Jilly Cube, both of whom are in Australia and use clear glue regularly with beautiful results. I think there's a real possibility that the formula of clear glue available there is different from what we're getting here in the US. My experience with clear glue stateside has consistently been underwhelming compared to white glue, and this test confirms that for me. If white glue is available to you, use it. If clear glue is all you've got, it can work, but I recommend keeping it a bit thicker and be prepared for more bubble issues and less cell definition. Okay, now the bonus test I teased at the beginning. After the main pour was done, I used the leftover drippings from both sides to do a quick swipe test. I took Amsterdam Titanium White and swiped it across both sets of drippings. White glue drippings got a white glue medium swipe. Clear glue drippings got a clear glue medium swipe. The result was exactly what I'd seen in the flip cup. On the clear glue side, the cells that formed after the swipe faded right into the paint. They opened up and then just dissolved. On the white glue side, the cells came up, held their shape, and gave you that classic defined lacing you want from a swipe. If there was any doubt left after the main pour test, the swipe test put it to rest. White glue holds cell structure. Clear glue doesn't, at least not here in the US with what I have tested with. So there you have it. White glue wins, and not by a small margin. Better cell definition, more vibrant colors, fewer bubbles during mixing, and better lacing on a swipe. Clear glue isn't useless, but if you have the choice, white glue, like this Craftsmart glue or Elmer's Glue All, is the better option. I also did a similar test with 5 different glues, including school glue and glue all, and you can watch the results here.